you can see there are many different games you can choose from with this interactive system. Each game is going to display the title at the top of the screen, and it's going to have a series of different parameters listed. Let's go over those really quick. The colors are going to be what colors you want to choose during your game. So if you only want red to be displayed during the game, you can click on the red and turn off all the other colors. If you want red and green, red, green, and blue, and so on, just highlight the colors you want to be using. The number of targets is going to be listed as the number of targets you're using during the game. So you might only want to be using 2 targets if you're just looking left and right. And you can choose which targets these are, as each pod is individually numbered. When you first connect to your pods, you'll see at the top of the screen the app system connecting to each pod. So it'll say something like 5 pods connected or 4 pods connected. Each charged pod should be able to turn on and be connected. The power button to the pod is just on the base of the pod, next to the charging input. The delay is how fast the pods are going to come on. So this might be different depending on what game you're playing. For instance, if we're doing random light up, you could have a 1 second between each pod changing to the next one. Or maybe 5 seconds if you're working with someone that's a little more challenged and quickly reacting. So it's nice to be able to change the speed depending on which patient you're with. This might be different for something like the sequence game where 5 different colors flash at once. You could maybe slow that down so they can have a little more time to see each color before then having to find those 5 colors. You can view all these games on our instruction page, and each game will have an individual video describing the game. The timeout feature is just how long you want the pod to stay lit before changing. You can alter the speed to change the challenge of the game. This section right here is if you want a sound, an audible beep to be presented as each target turns on. So you may or may not want that depending on where you are and how you're playing the game. This also allows you to select whether or not you want a sound to emit when you touch the target, if you're using the touch feature. Where it says sensor, you can choose between laser and touch. Most of these games you're going to be playing this with the laser feature, but if you wanted to touch the pods, you could certainly select touch and play the same games like you would any interactive pod system, but they're going to be activated this time by touching the target. You can also change whether or not you want the target to flash when it turns on. These are the basic parameters on all the games. They may vary slightly, but they're all pretty much the same. And as you play the games and adjust these parameters, you'll get a feel for how you might use these differently with different clients. After the game's over in the real-time data section, you're going to see hits and misses and basic breakdown of the performance of the game that was played, which is really cool because you can then show your client after you're done playing how well they did. And we can save this data and use it in further sessions to show the client that they are getting better or show them areas that they're really struggling on. Let's take a look more at some other basic setups using your pods. On each pod, you're going to notice a small window on the left side. This is the main sensor. To ensure the best sensitivity of your pods, it helps to have the laser sensor in the direction the user is going to be aiming. In this example, it's on the down side or the bottom side for the lower target. When moving to the up side, the laser sensor is on the up side of the pod. When moving to the left, the laser sensor is on the left of the pod. And when moving to the right, the laser sensor will be on the right side of the pod. If you're using the adjustable mounts and the magnet is too weak on the pods, add an additional magnetic mount to the base of the pod. This should offer a stronger magnetic attraction, so the pod will stay still. You can also attach the other end of the pod to any magnetic surface, such as the Maverick gem here in this video. You can check out this system at themaverickgem.com.